Alright, this is a 98 Subaru Legacy GT with the 2.5 liter EJ25 boxer engine. This right here just did the so-called Big 3 upgrade, and had problems with running everything on my car, and then the battery would die. So, but besides the alternator, I do have a use for more amps, and it's not for audio applications, but the stock amp is 85 amps, and I have a 180 amp alternator coming, and so I just wanted to get everything in place ahead of time. So the way that I did this one was, this is the negative terminal, and I got this terminal here where I can screw in two different zero gauge wires, and also two more, which I don't know, maybe around 4 gauge or so. So what I did was, this first one right here kind of goes under, and then I have it attached right here to the power steering, the AC compressor bracket. That's as good as you're going to get to the ground. I wanted to put it here originally that holds the alternator, but pulling this out, this could have moved, and I didn't want to readjust the belt and do all that. I don't even want to get in here until I have to change it. But if you do a continuity check between the case, the ground of the alternator, and right here, there's it's not going to make any difference at all. So again, this one right here goes under, and then I have it mounted here, and then I have the from the ground with this zero gauge going under this fuse box coming out here, and I have it going straight to the strut tower. And I ground it down a little bit all around here just to make sure that it's a good metal contact, since that normally is painted. I left the stock ones intact. This top one right here is actually going to the engine, where the by the starter, that bolt right down there. So I left that intact, and also the stock ground wire. There's another one directly underneath this that's set with this screw, and that comes around here and goes right here. So basically it's redundant, but you know, it's even better than just the 2 zero gauge. So anyway, this to the engine, and then this one to the engine, this one to the body, and then the stock one still goes to the body. So from the ground, I have 2 going to the engine and 2 going to the body. And then for the positive right here, for right now I left all the stock one intact. This wire goes down to the positive of the starter. This one goes down into the fuse box, and I left that intact right here, where you can see that I have the stock one still right there on the alternator positive output, and that's where I put the zero gauge wire as well. Okay, so from here, coming through here through the terminal block, this Scorpion one is okay. The package was sliced. I bought it off of eBay, where it was the positive terminal, piece of blue cable, but I used red instead so I could have the same thing. And then it's got this little thing where you can just connect it to a battery, and you can see the 12.7 there, resting voltage. It sent it with a 65 amp fuse when they were advertising a 200. So somebody had sliced the package, opened it, swapped it out, and then mailed that out from eBay. So I'm not doing business with those people anymore. But anyway, and then that goes right back to the positive. So this is just kind of a redundant deal right here. When I get the new alternator, I might remove this. I don't think that there's going to be any interference, so might as well just leave them both. And then you're going to have this fuse plus the one in the fuse box. And I could just disconnect the one in the fuse box, and then it'll solely be going through here. And then so I can leave all the wiring intact, and I don't have to mess with anything. So anyway, that's kind of how I did this Big 3 upgrade. This terminal, I don't know what brand this was. This was got Got this either off of eBay or Amazon. And but even with this little sleeve here for this negative terminal, this thing really didn't want to stay very tight on there. So you just have to really crank. I mean, you got to crank it pretty hard for it to stay on there pretty stiff. And then on the positive terminal from the Scorpion company, it didn't even fit over there. I undid the set screw and I even pried that little piece kind of open a little bit, and I had to use a little rubber mallet to kind of pound that down on top of the terminal because it just did not want to fit. So that is machined too small, and this one is really too big. But I guess that's the kind of quality we're dealing with these days, but it's what we got. But once it fits, it's a pretty good setup. So anyway, 98 Subaru Legacy GT with a 2.5 liter, that's the big 3 upgrade. Next I'll be doing the ignition coil and a DIS 2 MSD. I'm going to look at turning it into my plasma ignition system with the diodes, and then I'll have a 180 amp alternator, and there's a few other things that I'll be doing. So we'll get to those in other videos.